stop. Before you do another rep, you need to see this. These 5 exercises are testosterone killers, and chances are you're doing at least 3 of them right now. Here's why that matters. Low testosterone doesn't just kill your gains. It destroys your sex drive, ruins your performance in bed, and even makes it harder to get or keep an erection. Women notice this extremely fast, and over time, she starts to lose interest in you, while another man with higher testosterone becomes the one she desires. Now, let me drop a truth bomb that'll make every runner hate me. If you run more than 30 minutes, you're in big trouble. I don't care if you run on a treadmill, through your neighborhood, or on a trail. The science is brutal and undeniable. Running for too long is literally castrating you. One study found that 25% of serious distance runners develop something called exercise hypogonadal male condition. Basically, their testicles stop working properly, and it can take years to recover, if ever. Also, it was proven that male distance runners covering more than 40 miles per week have testosterone levels 30 to 50% lower than guys who don't run at all. I'm talking about testosterone so low that doctors would normally prescribe TRT just to get you back to normal. Here's what actually happens. When you run for too long, your body thinks you're in survival mode, so your cortisol, the stress hormone, goes through the roof. But cortisol and testosterone can't exist at high levels together, which means when one goes up, the other crashes. Now, have you ever heard about runner's high? That euphoric feeling after a long run. Most of us think it's a good sign, but it's actually a warning sign. Picture this. It's the same response as a car accident victim walking away without feeling pain. Your brain is protecting you from feeling what you're doing to yourself. Some runners get addicted to that feeling, so they need longer runs to get the same high. Meanwhile, their testosterone gets lower and lower. But here's the thing. I'm not saying stop all cardio. Short, intense cardio can actually boost testosterone, like 15 to 20 minute HIIT sessions or sprint intervals, 30 seconds on, 90 seconds off. Even a quick 20 to 30 minute jog is fine. Just don't overdo it. The goal is to keep your workouts short and intense. But just when you thought running was bad for your testosterone, there's another popular activity that might be even worse. Before you hop on your bike again, there's something you need to hear. Cycling might seem like the perfect exercise, great for cardio, easy on the joints, and a solid way to burn calories. But studies have found that serious cyclists often have 20 to 40% lower testosterone levels compared to other athletes or even non-athletes. Here's why. When you sit on a narrow bike saddle for long periods, it cuts off blood flow to one of the most important parts of your body, your testicles. Without proper circulation, your body simply can't produce testosterone like it should, and over time, this can even affect fertility or develop erectile dysfunction. If you've ever finished a long ride and felt numb down there, that's not just part of cycling. That's your body screaming, "Help me!" Guys who spend hours every day on the bike often end up with testosterone levels so low that they're comparable to men decades older. Simply put, the more miles you cycle, the more damage you do. Now, you don't need to give up cycling completely to protect yourself. Just do this. Switch to a split or noseless saddle to relieve pressure where it matters most. Also, stand up on the pedals regularly to restore blood flow and keep most rides short and intense. 20 to 40 minutes is more than enough for fitness and fat loss. Now, let's talk about the gym. You probably think the leg press is one of the safest machines in the gym. It lets you load up heavy weights, build your legs, and avoid the stress of squats. Also, I bet you think going deeper on leg press means better gains, right? Wrong! Let me explain. When you go super deep on the leg press, something dangerous happens. Your thighs crush against your stomach. This puts massive pressure on all the blood vessels going to your manhood. For those few seconds at the very bottom, it's like stepping on a garden hose. Nothing gets through. Now, this alone won't destroy your testosterone overnight, but when you repeat this set after set, week after week, that constant stress adds up. Over time, it increases your risk of hernias, nerve irritation, and circulation problems in one of the most sensitive parts of your body, which in the long run can ruin your testosterone levels. And the funny thing is, going that deep doesn't even build more muscle. Studies show that stopping around 90 degrees activates your quads just as much as bringing your knees into your chest. So, by pushing for extra depth, you're taking on all the risk with zero reward. Meanwhile, the guy next to you who keeps perfect form and a controlled range of motion, he's building the same legs, staying injury-free, and protecting his manhood. So, the message is, don't sacrifice your testosterone for an illusion of working harder. But wait, you know that weighted weighted crunch machine everyone uses to get ripped abs? Imagine squeezing a tube of toothpaste in the middle. Then what happens next is everything inside gets pushed to the ends. That's exactly what this machine does to your body. When you crunch down with 100 plus pounds, you're not just working your abs, you're crushing everything in your belly like a hydraulic press. Your stomach, intestines, and bladder, they all get squashed, and that pressure has to go somewhere. So where does it go? Straight down into your pelvis. Think about that for a second. All that force pushing down on the exact area where your manhood lives. Now here's the killer part. Your testicles are basically factories. They need oxygen and nutrients delivered through blood to keep producing testosterone. Guys do this for months, even years. Then they wonder why they're exhausted at 3 p.m. and why their libido vanishes. They'll try every supplement, every diet, and every new workout program, but never realizing the problem could be that one machine. The worst part is, this machine doesn't even build functional abs. It only hits the show muscles on top while completely ignoring the deep core that actually protects your spine and keeps you strong. There is also another exercise that's even worse than this one, and 99% of the population uses it for abs. Check the description of the video to see what I'm talking about. Now, finally, the most embarrassing exercise in the entire gym. Guys call it the good girl, bad girl machine. You know, the one where you spread your legs apart and squeeze them together. And if you're a man using it, we need to talk. This machine is mostly marketed toward women. Not because I'm being sexist, but because of basic anatomy. Women have wider hips and different muscle activation patterns. This machine works perfectly for their body structure. But for men, it's a whole different story. When you sit on this thing and spread your legs against resistance, you're putting your groin in the worst possible position. It's like forcing a door to close the wrong way. Now, does this directly kill testosterone? No, but here's what it does do. It increases your injury risk dramatically, and injuries lead to training inconsistency, which does affect testosterone. Studies show that men who can't train consistently due to injury have lower baseline testosterone than those who train regularly. Think about it. Every time you pull a groin muscle, you're out for weeks, maybe months. That's months of missed workouts. But there's another problem nobody talks about. This machine trains your muscles to work in isolation. In real life, your hips never move like this, so you're building useless strength that doesn't even transfer to anything.